Gonna bring it right at us, pull the gear down. Gear's coming down. Hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC. Alright, let's take up the 80mm Avanti S version 2 from FREEWING. Take her up and have some fun with it. I haven't flown this plane in a hot minute, so hopefully I can remember how to do it. Got a 5,000 HRB, 4.5 minute timer. Take it up, have some fun.
Perfect spot, don't move.
Perfect spot, stay right there. And I move. It's like a 4-wheel drive truck jet. Now, thrust reverse on this one is very, very effective. In fact, it's so effective it'll dive the nose down. So you want to ease into your reverse thrust with this one. All right.
Take off flaps.
Take off flaps. Here we go. Here we go. In my high rates. All right, gonna take it up now. Kill the motor. All right, here we go.
Time remaining 4 minutes.
Take it up again. Snap roll. Well, kinda. Bring it right at us. Keep it down a little bit lower out to the highway. A little bit lower. Take it up again. I like doing that. Bring it right at us again. Take it up. Over. Gonna bring it right at us. Pull the gear down. Gear's coming down.
Time remaining. Landing flaps.
Bring it for a landing. There we go.
Brakes off. Flaps up.
Got the FREEWING brand afterburner there. This is before I started working with KM models, and so it's got the FREEWING brand afterburner, which is still a good afterburner. It's just not nearly as bright. Whoa, turn too sharp. Get on that center line. That center line is there for your orientation, and if it was a real pilot in there, their orientation. Take off flaps. Ease into it. Yeah, she's flying. I remember this plane. I haven't flown her forever. Take it up again. Let her fall. You'll find, you watch my channel long enough, you'll find that on hot days, I will do that quite a bit. When it's a warm day, warm sunny day,
Gear down.
helps keep the electronics cool.
2 minutes.
All right.
Landing flaps.
All right, we got one more in her. Let's take up one more time, do a quick flyby, and then a landing. You know what? No, well, this time we'll do a touch and go. I'm just excited to be out here to fly today. I haven't flown in forever. Well, for me, it feels like forever. I know you poor folks up north, you have to wait for the snow to thaw.
Flaps.
If I don't fly for 3 days, I get the jitters. Not trying to rub it in, just reality of it.
Flaps up.
All right. Give us a touch and go this time, and then we'll do a landing. Do a full-fledged landing. Now, the touch and go, I won't be using flaps. All right, it's going to leave the gear down.
Time remaining 1 minute. Landing flaps.
Landing flaps are in now. Throttles everything, folks. Here we go. Won't even have to use reverse thrust this time. Good flying jet. And just so you know, our runway is 210 feet.
Flaps up. Braking. Brakes off. Motor off.
All right, check the battery. We'll go over rates and throws and CG and all that good jazz back in the man cave. A little hot out here today. So, I know y'all, you poor people up north are like, man, we wish we had some heat. %, left, so 4 minutes. Really, I should put it back at 4 minutes even, not 4.5. And that is 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37. So 22% roughly back on the battery. 4 minutes is all you want to do, and that's on a 5,000. And like I say, we'll go over everything back in the man cave and get out of this heat. But there you go, folks. That is the FREEWING 80mm Avanti S version 2. And a great flying sport jet. I haven't flown her in I don't know how many months, but she flies great. God bless y'all. God is good. We'll catch you back in the man cave. Bye-bye. All right. Got one good flight in with the Avanti S2 version 2 from FREEWING 80mm. We ran out of time. Some people came by, got to talking, and we just ran out of sunlight. So I only got the one flight in. This poor Avanti, I need to get some, either clean it real good or something. She's got hanger rash all over. She's beat up, but I want to tell you right now, this is one incredibly good flying airplane. If you're looking for your first, well, there's several good choices for your first sport jet. If you want something from FMS, as far as sport jets, I suggest the Futura 80mm in the 80mm class. And the FREEWING, if you want something for FREEWING, you're looking for your first sport jet in 80mm, by far the Avanti S is great for your first sport jet. She flies amazing. I did do a few mods, and the only real mod is if you look inside, I like to be able to see my receiver. So I cut out a little bit of the canopy, so the receiver is sitting in the pilot's crotch. Basically, in his lap. So I didn't go over, I don't know if I showed you battery placement. I know I showed you battery report after how much was left on the battery, but that's the battery, and that's where I have it placed, basically all the way to the very front of the wood shelf there. And that's where I get perfect CG for the sport jet. Now, this is not a Death Dorito. You're not wanting to favor tail heavy. You're wanting it to be level to possibly favor nose heavy. Just favoring, though, not distinct. And CG is just on the outside of these wing fences right here. You can actually feel it. And she kind of favors nose heavy there. Okay. Let me see. I'm not really sure how she is with the gear up. Let's see how she feels with the gear up. Okay, let me see how she feels CG-wise with the gear up. All right. And with the gear up on those CG marks, still maybe want to favor nose heavy just a little bit. So not as much. So that's good, though. That's good positive for the positive angle for a sport jet. All right, well, there you go on that. I think we've killed that horse, that dead horse. Let's go over our rates. Now, I got it, like I said, I've got a 7-channel Lemon RX with a stabilizer. Also got a FREEWING brand afterburner inside it. Only comes on when they get above 25%. Nose cone comes off. Very simple for transport, so you can soar on your nose if you want to. High rates flew the entire time. Let me show you my flap settings first. Flaps up are negative 100%, no mix. Takeoff flaps are, they're split flaps. You can kind of see them underneath the wing down there. Negative 50%, no mix. Landing flaps, 25% with a 15% down elevator mix. And that's how I land. She's a phenomenal flying plane. Blab, blab, can't dot today. Phenomenal flying plane. That's a tongue twister. And I should have, if I would have done a second flight, I would have shown you some grass ops, but this plane sits pretty high up off the deck, and those wheels are pretty big, so she's actually pretty good in the grass. And so if you've got a grass field, this is a great choice. And the gear, they've actually got magnets that hold these door closed. It's one of the upgrades to the version 2, and you actually hear them disengage whenever it comes down. But let's start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So a good 6 seconds. You know, maybe I'm wrong. I think I lied to you. I don't see magnets. I got another plane that's got magnets that hold the door closed, but I don't know. But anyways, there you go, folks. That is the Avanti 2 80mm. Avanti S2 from FREEWING. Absolute phenomenal flying jet, sport jet, fun to fly. If you're looking for a FREEWING, your first sport jet in the FREEWING in the 80mm class, this is a great choice. Pair this with a Lemon RX Gen 2 stabilized receiver, and she'll cut through For the longest time, when I first got her, I didn't have any gyro at all. But I decided that I really loved the way you set the Lemon RX receivers up. And I said, well, what the heck? So I put it in there, and that just helps with the wind a little bit, but you don't even have to have a gyro with it if you don't want to. You gotta understand, with gyros, there's a big difference, a big controversy with gyros. People think, oh, gyros, you know, you fly, you gotta have a gyro. Okay, self-leveling gyros, which means the plane will not go upside down, that's more beginner stuff, okay? And also panic recovery. You know, something flies in your eye, oh gosh, what happened? You know, well, you put it in safe mode or self-level, and when she flies level until you can clear your vision, you know, and save your $400 or $500 you got flying up here. So don't be worried about, don't be thinking, oh, I'm less of a pilot. But then there's wind gyros. Okay, wind gyros just mean, this thing's made of foam. This doesn't weigh that much, okay? You guys with all the gassers, the big heavy wood planes, it's not a big deal for you, okay? So the gyros just make that plane, the wind gyros just make that light foam plane feel just as locked in and fly just as smooth as your bigger, heavier wooden planes. That's all the difference is. It has nothing to do with skill and how good of a pilot you are. Okay, that the wind gyros don't do. Now self-level, yeah, that's your bailout. That's great for a beginner. But I don't scoff at people saying, oh, they're less of a pilot because they don't use a gyro, or because they use a gyro. No, this just keeps this light foam flying, dealing with the same kind of conditions that your larger, heavier wooden plane take for granted. That's the only real difference there. It's all it's doing. So I'm going to leave the gear up, so I'm going to store it that way. Well, there you go, folks. That is the Avanti S2 80mm from FREEWING. One incredible flying sport jet. I highly recommend it. I'll put a link in the description. I'm not affiliated with Motion RC. You know, this thing's like $439, and I would have paid $439 if I would have bought it new. So it's the same price. But I'll put a link in there just to give you convenience, and all the particulars, the CG, the actual CG numbers, and weight and wingspan, all that will be in the video. All right, God bless y'all. Y'all have a good, and don't forget, faith, family, and friends. God is good. Avanti S Sport Jets. And I don't have a camera roll on this one, so that'll just have to do it. Bye. Oh wait, I do have a camera roll. There'll be a camera roll next. Bye.